settle in and enjoy this one with our commentary team of Stephen Thompson and Alistair Lamont.
Thanks again, Andy. Welcome to the Groupama Aréna in Budapest as Ferencvárosi play host to Rangers on Matchday 5 of the Europa League. Rangers languishing in 33rd place in the league table with just a point to their name, knowing that 10 were required last season to qualify. So this is a game they absolutely have to win, as well as the two subsequent to that. But for now, they will concentrate on continuing to try to improve under Danny Rule. The two teams lining up either side of the halfway line right now. It's Ferencvárosi in the green and white hoops. They're thinner hoops than are sported by Celtic, but nonetheless, green and white hoops it is. Rangers yet to take off their training tops. There's James Tavernier doing it just now, so it's a dark top that they're wearing, and looks like they will line up to our right-hand side as both teams prepare to get underway. The Greek officials in the middle of the park, led by Anastasios Papapetrou, and the atmosphere and the crowd have been building steadily just prior to kick-off. And away to our left, as Stephen was describing, the ultras behind the goal on that side, and they've got a big tifo on display right now. They are I think relatively notorious throughout Europe, the Ferencvárosi ultras, for the level of exuberance, if you like, during games. So let's see what they've got to say for themselves tonight. Rangers well supported as usual on their European travels, trying to make themselves heard, as well as the two captains, James Tavernier and Ibrahim Cissé, the Frenchman, right centre-back for Ferencvárosi. Just go through the handshakes and the traditional swapping of pennants. And Rangers just gathering, as I say, across to our right-hand side, preparing to kick us off as the home side go into a huddle, which I'm sure will go down well with the visiting support. Not quite a full house, I'd have to say. At this stage, might be a few stragglers still making their way in. The traffic was certainly heavy on our way to the stadium, but not quite at its 20,000 capacity for European games, but certainly across to our left, that section completely full, and they're now bouncing up and down and making a real racket as they look to get behind their side. It will be Rangers to get us underway, going from right to left as we look at it from a perfect vantage point in the centre of the main stand here. Nico Raskan will kick us off in the Hungarian capital as Rangers look to put a dent in the Ferencvárosi hopes of automatic qualification, and it's back to Butland it goes, and then down the right hand side up in the direction of Danilo, and then Max Ahrens, who looks to be starting in that sort of right wing position that I think James and Stephen were speculating about. It does look like it might be the back four.
Yeah, it does. Ahrens to the right, and it looks as if Danilo will just go into a sort of 10 position,
with Gassama starting in a position I feel he's much more suited to, coming in off that left hand side. Rangers have got a throw in deep in the Ferencvárosi half on the right hand side, which James Tavernier is going to try and launch in by the looks of it into the penalty area. Referee just having a word with a couple of players there before this ball comes into the home side's box, and it comes now towards the near post. It's flicked on high into there. Danilo trying to make something of it but failing to do so, and Ferencvárosi clear their lines up to the halfway line. It's Magoma who rolls it back to his goalkeeper Jack Butland, who will launch it forward before Alex Toth, a young midfielder who's recently come into the international setup. There's Varga getting his first touch, and on to Bamadeli Yusuf, who's I think more commonly known as these parts as Deli, which probably suits me to just abbreviate that.
We'll go with that, Al.
It's Cissé trying to play it forward down the right hand side. It comes off Gassama out for a throw in midway inside the Ferencvárosi half. It's quickly taken there by Makrekis, the Latvian, who will play in the right wing back role. 3-5-2 largely for for Ferencvárosi. As they bring the ball out from the back here, it's the Belgian centre-back, Toon Rijmakers. And then it's played forward by Soloy, left centre-back, up towards Varga, who's a towering centre-forward. And now there's an opportunity here as Daly gets into the box and he sends it wide. Well, he just seemed to too easily get away from the Rangers defence there as Varga flicked it on and Daly was able to get in behind. He got the shot away, but fortunately for Rangers, he dragged it across goal and wide. And after 2.5 minutes, first chance comes Ferencváros's way, but not taken, 0-0.
I tell you what, it's a big chance as well, Alistair. He just kind of screwed it with his left foot past the post. Really good opportunity, but it was slack again from Rangers. We talked about this before the game, how defensively they have to be better in Europe. The first initial header should have been won by James Tavernier. He misjudges it. It's flicked on by Varga. And then Youssef's just away. He takes a touch and he puts the afterburners on. He's one-on-one with Butland. Slight angle, but really should be hitting the target. Rangers with a let-off there.
Picked up by Danilo, right-hand side. Rather pulls out the challenge there, a 50-50. And Aarons is beaten rather easily in a similar challenge, and that allows Ferencvárosi to come forward down the left-hand side with the Irishman Callum O'Dowda playing for his countryman Robbie Keane, of course, in charge here since January. Won the league in his the second half of last season, and he has them top of the table this season as well, albeit just by a couple of points as Fernandez fires it into Majowski. It's a poor touch from him though, and that allows Cisse to take it off his toes. And that's the kind of thing that Majowski will need to be better at, especially this evening, Stephen.
Yeah, 100%, Alistair. I mean, the pass into his feet was an excellent one from Fernandez. He's got to make sure he secures possession. And it was just a really slack touch, probably his first touch of the ball, so we'll let him off with it, but it'll need to improve.
Butland out to Tavernier, right hand side. You clip that one forward, looking for Max Aarons, who I've certainly never seen playing in this role before, but he's taken a good touch. Rolls it out to Majowski, right hand side, angle of the box. Then it's into Raskan, edge of the area. That's a little ball out to Aarons, just a little bit too much on it, but Aarons has kept it in. He'll try and get this one into the box. Turns one way, then the other. Left footed, crosses charged down, but it comes to Majowski. Little nutmeg, a second one. Majowski, can he get it across goal? Well, instead he'll, I think, take the corner. Yeah, comes off the Ferencvárosi defender last, and Rangers have the first corner of the game. 4.5 minutes in, 0-0.
It's good play from Rangers, and Majowski got a bit lucky there. He tried to dribble past one defender, he got the break of the ball that bobbled to try to go past a second defender. The exact same thing happened. He probably could have got a shot off, then goes for another chop that wins his team the corner that James Tavernier will go over to this right hand side and take.
Yeah, right hand side for the Rangers corner then, as they try to find an opening goal here. 0-0 it stands in the first few minutes here in Budapest as Tavernier gives the signal. Aarons right in front of the goalkeeper. Majowski in the 6-yard box as well. Plenty others round about as it's aimed for Fernandez. I think Tavernier will keep that in and he'll send it back into the middle. And there's Raskan with the downward header. And Ferencvárosi managed to scramble it clear. Decent opening spell though for the visiting side.
Yeah, it is. I mean, the ball that initially comes in isn't won cleanly by Ferencvárosi, and it could have recycled back into the box by Tavernier. A lovely ball, in fact. Came to Raskin and he had time. I think he headers the ball down the way into bodies when he probably could have got a header away himself, trying to get it on target, but he was probably trying to just find a teammate. But you're right, Alistair, it's been a reasonably bright start after that scare.
Out for a throw-in over on the far side. Tavernier playing it straight out of play when he was trying to find Aarons. It'll be interesting to see how Aarons does perform in that more advanced role. He certainly wasn't comfortable playing at left back when Russell Martin stuck him in there, and James Tavernier still the first choice really at right fullback, although Aarons did start there at the weekend. Ferencvárosi have it just inside their own penalty area. It's going to be brought forward by Toon Rijmakers, the 25-year-old Belgian, who brings it out to the right hand side here for Tote.
What you'll see happening is Aarons will, when he's not in advanced positions, will drop naturally in to almost make that kind of back five at times when Rangers are defending, and then when they attack, then obviously he goes higher up the pitch and they become a four again.
It's Rijmakers trying to bring it forward. He gets the break of the ball there, and it falls kindly for Ferencvárosi, and Tote now out to the right hand side to Makrekis. Back in field it goes to Rijmakers, the central of the back three, and then Soloy on the left hand side. Ferencvárosi will get the throw in over on their left flank. 7 minutes in, no goals. Best opportunity certainly fell to the home side, but Daly dragged it wide of goal. It's going to be a potential long throw by the looks of it coming in here, midway inside the Rangers half. And then it comes from that left flank into the penalty area. Vargas an obvious target. He heads it on to his strike partner Daly, and then the shot eventually comes in from the edge of the box from Utvush, but well off target from him. Rangers goal kick, almost 8 on the clock. Ferencvárosi 0, Rangers 0.
It's a good flick on from Varga to his strike partner. He couldn't really get it under control, and when it's laid back, the shot, end up shot, it's absolutely bound. That's
a terrible kick out from Butland, and Fernandez has dug him out of a hole by winning that before Makrekis could make anything of it. But it's incredibly slack, as you say, Stephen, from Jack Butland, who is being encouraged obviously to play out short when he can, pick the passes, but he's given another one away there. Now he's backpedaling towards his goal as Daly has it right hand side, shrugs off Connor Barron into the penalty area on the right hand side, tries to get it across goal. Fernandez in the way behind for a Rangers corner. Twice in a row Jack Butland giving it straight to a Ferencvárosi player. Yeah,
it's poor from Butland. You thought he'd learned his lesson with the first one. Tries again in his left foot this time, goes straight to the winger, and showed great strength to go past Connor Barron. This final ball wasn't great, but they've earned themselves a corner.
Yeah, on this right hand side there's a short option available in the shape of Kanichowski, and it will be taken short, and it's O'Dowda then pokes it back to Makrekis. Makrekis is going to go for goal, but he gets it all wrong, well over the top from the Latvian wing back, and what was a decent looking set piece in the first instance is rather wasted by Makrekis, and Rangers survive 0-0 9 minutes in, and they'll look to build down the right hand side.
Should have put it in the box, Al. I mean, it's incredibly ambitious. It's probably a good 25 yards out, slight angle, but all the big guys that had come up for the corner were still in there. Should have just clipped it in towards the back post. Hits the shot miles over the bar. Yeah,
Vargas the obvious target, the big striker. 19 goals to his name in 26 appearances this season, including 3 in the Europa League. He had 6 in 6 Champions League qualifiers as well. They eventually went out to Karabag in the play-off round, 5-4 on aggregate, hence their appearance in this competition, like Rangers, as Tavernier was quickly in there, couldn't quite keep it, but it breaks now to Giga, who Danny Rule confirmed yesterday is almost certainly going to be available for the next game against Hibernian on Monday, before making his way to African Cup of Nations duty. There's Aarons trying a little drag back routine, and he's fouled in the process, so Rangers get the free kick on the halfway line, right hand side. Tavernier looking to take it, goes back the way to Giga and then square to Fernandez, but 20 yards inside the Rangers half. Raskan comes short and gets it back from Danilo just inside his own half. He'll try and fire it out now to Gassama. Gassama, a decent first touch on the right foot, left of the penalty area, and he comes up against Makrekis. Can he find a teammate? He can in Magoma for Raskan, just outside the penalty area. He wants a runner on the right hand side. He picks out Aarons now up against O'Dowda, the angle of the box on that right hand side. He goes back the way to Raskan, and now Aarons once more right hand side. Tavernier trying to direct him, clips it in for Danilo, who was onside according to the assistant. Tavernier now into the box, away by Rijmakers, and then flicked on by Varga, but Daly couldn't make it, and there's a free kick gone the way of the home side.
Gassama should have done better with the initial part of that attack from Rangers. Lovely ball out to him from Raskin in this left hand side. He's in a 1v1 situation, just gets the ball kind of caught up under his feet. Clip forward looking for Daly, but Giga's there to chest it down to Raskan.
Yeah, Gassama's really got to show, because he's playing in his preferred position tonight, he's really got to show what he can do. Rangers rely on him so much. Here's Magoma on the left-hand side, leaves it to Gassama, who'll come in off the right as he loves to do. Will you think about shooting? Instead he goes short to Raskan, now out to Magoma left-hand side in an advanced area. Back to Barron and into Raskan, little 1-2 between the midfield pair. Barron once more tries to find the space to play it into Majowski, which he manages to do. Now it's back with Raskan, still midway inside the Ferencvárosi half. The Rangers just struggling slightly to pick a final pass, something that was really going to penetrate and hurt Ferencvárosi. Now they've gone all the way back to Giga, who's midway inside his own half. Out to the right hand side for Tavernier, and in field, and Danilo steps nicely away from his marker, and it's forward to Raskan, and then Majowski. It's better from Rangers, good play. Barron now out to the right hand side for Aarons. Danilo's continued his run into the box. Here he is on the right hand side, across the 6-yard box. Gassama can't quite get there before Cisse, who takes charge and should be able to clear his lines here out to the left hand side. In fact, he's trying to come forward, plays it into the midfield, and Ferencvárosi trying to play out from the back, didn't quite work, but Tavernier gives it straight back to them, and it's picked up by Cisse once more, who looks like he's quite happy to bring the ball out from his defensive area. So Rangers with a good bit of build-up play there, but again just the final ball was lacking, and now it's Daly trying to bring it forward for Ferencvárosi, claimed for a handball against Tavernier, but the referee's not interested, and Rangers have it back through Giga on the edge of his own box. He rolls it to Butland, who'll be closed down by Varga, and he just goes long up to the halfway line. Cisse gets the header down to Makrekis. He helps it on, but only to Fernandez on the edge of the box, and now it's back with Giga. Raskan once more takes up the play and charges forward to the halfway line. It's a loose pass though from the Belgian, a poor one, and Ferencvárosi can try and build something here just inside the centre circle. Forward they come with Alex Todt, the 20-year-old, now with 9 caps to his name, as Ferencvárosi just slow it down. 14 played, no goals here in Budapest. Remember, a couple of other Europa League games to come later on Sports Sound, with both Celtic and Aberdeen in action. Ferencvárosi pick up on the edge of the box, and I think like there's a tug there by Conor Barron. The home fans I think agree with me, and the referee doesn't, and he waves play on, and the home fans not happy, but Barron I think got away with one here. It was picked up by Todt, tries to lift it over Giga for Daly, left hand side of the box. Daly forced out wide, Giga's still with him, back the way it goes to O'Dowda. The Irishman playing at left wing back just rolls it into the centre circle for Rijmakers, out to Makrekis. He looks to try and get the better of Magoma, who's got a hold of his shorts there. Play continues, and then Magoma sticks a toe in to knock it out of play. Again,
should have been a foul again.
Yeah, it should have been.
Yeah, I think the linesman and the referee both spot it. It should have been a free kick back to Ferencvárosi.
They're still in possession here anyway, and it comes back to Cisse. Robbie Keane out at the edge of his technical area, having made the move here from Maccabi Tel Aviv. He was asked yesterday about links to the Celtic job, which was of course vacant up until recently, and he was very coy about that, said he can't do anything about speculation, but he's very happy here as his side curled the ball into the box, and Varga just unable to get on the end of it, just get caught maybe underneath it a little bit, but that was another half chance for Ferencvárosi. Quarter of an hour in, no goals, as Aarons helps it on to Majowski.
I think the ball's just kind of flung into the box, but Fernandez completely loses Varga, who spun. I think he kind of lost the flight of the ball in the air, and then it kind of bounced harmlessly through to Jack Butland, but another nervy moment. I mean, Rangers have done okay so far. I mean, going back to 3-4 minutes ago, they had about 25 passes in a row where they kept the ball and eventually managed to work it into the box. Nothing came of it, but they're playing with a wee bit of confidence.
Cisse brushes Gassama to the ground and plays it forward for Todt, and now he takes it up once more. Magoma gets a crucial foot in there to knock it behind, but well, I feel like Gassama's got to be stronger in that situation and get himself in between man and ball. He was just brushed aside, as I say, by the impressive looking Cisse, and Ferencvárosi have got themselves a corner on this right hand side.
Yeah, it was a very important touch that. I mean, I think his own first touch was a bad one. He should have taken it across Magoma, but he allows Magoma the wee opportunity to get a toe in, and he just about managed it, put it behind for the corner kick.
Tote will take this right hand side. Looks like it's going to be an outswinger, although there's a short option. Once again, this time it's Kanachowski, but it does come in towards the back post. Daly climbs, it's over him. Butland hasn't gathered, and it's just wide. Well, Jack Butland has not started this game in convincing fashion. He went up to try and collect it. I think he came down, and maybe the ball came off one of his own players, if we're doing him a little bit of a favour there. But really, the Rangers goalkeeper has got to be more convincing, and he gets away with that. 17 in, still Ferencvárosi 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, the ball swung into the back post. The initial contacts won by Ferencvárosi. It was up into the air. You're expecting Butland to come. I thought he should have come and just punched it and cleared his lines. He tries to catch it, and I think as he's coming down, drops the ball off the top of Fernandez, and then the shot comes in and goes wide. Another scare for Rangers.
Here's Daly coming down the left hand side. Giga sticks in left boot and knocks it out of play for a throw in over on the far side as Danny Rowell makes his way back into his dugout. Almost 18 on the clock. No goals between Ferencvárosi and Rangers in this Europa League tie, but Ferencvárosi certainly have been looking the more dangerous side and in the much stronger position in terms of qualification, as they have a throw in here which is going to be launched into the penalty area. Giga is beaten to it. Tavernier though gets the header clear. Now Majowski can try and bring it clear, but he's allowed himself to be challenged there. But that's good play from Danilo to pick up, but then he loses out as well. But again, Majowski is just a little bit lackadaisical there, unaware of the player coming behind him.
It was difficult, Alistair, because he didn't have any options. He was the highest player in the team, and he was looking and he's thinking to himself, right, what am I going to do here? By the time he'd made his mind up, he'd had his pocket picked.
It's well won by Fernandez, but it's picked up in the middle of the park there by Kanachowski, Israeli midfielder. As Ferencvárosi have it on the halfway line. It's Cisse, their captain, just inside the Rangers half now. Out to Makrekis. Back with Cisse once more, and Makrekis one again takes over, just out of play there off Magoma. Gassama hasn't been able to keep it in, and it will be a throw into the home side, midway inside the Rangers half on this right hand side. Back it goes to Cisse, and infield to Rijmakers as Robbie Keane tries to impart some instructions to his team there down on the touchline. On the left hand side, Ferencvárosi come. It's O'Dowda going back the way to Soloy, and then infield and right across to the right hand side for Cisse. He tries to get it forward to Daly, but Fernandez is there first. Now Raskan tries to play it into the path of Gassama, but I'll tell you what, Cisse shows a good turn of pace, gets there ahead of him, and just directs it back to his goalkeeper David Groff, who, as I mentioned earlier, made one official appearance for Hibernian in a League Cup tie back in 2008 against Morton. But, now at the opposite end of his career, 36 years old, in because their first choice, Danish Debus, is out with a broken finger. But Rangers haven't been able to test him at all in the opening 20 minutes, and here he is in possession with the ball at his feet.
No, they've not, Alistair. I mean, I think in possession of the ball they've been okay at times, but when they have got kind of far up the pitch, they've been just lacking a wee bit of a cutting edge.
Ferencvárosi spring it forward through Soloy. Here's once more a Hungarian left centre back, another one who's recently come into the international setup. Hungary missing out on the World Cup. Robbie Keane again was asked about that. The Ireland victory over Hungary, very late Troy Parrott winner, eliminating the Hungarians, his adopted country for the moment, as Ferencvárosi bring it forward. Just on the edge of the box, Conor Barron just fails to keep possession, and it's Makrekis looking to take on Magoma here, tries to get the cross in. Magoma sticks to his task there. He also claims it came off Makrekis last, but the assistant disagrees with him, and it will be a corner kick in the right hand side.
Yeah, I don't think it came off Ferencvárosi winger. It's good defending from Magoma. He was faced up. Good pace from McCrackis down the line, but he stuck to his task.
Dowda then to take this corner kick on the right hand side, left-footed Irishman. Swings it in towards the back post again, and well, a couple of Ferencvárosi players getting in each other's way. Daly was up there, as so was Soloy, and they really just put each other off as much as anything else and directed the ball wide. Otherwise Rangers could have been in trouble, but it's still 0-0 22 minutes in.
Yeah, it was a strange one actually, because you're thinking one of the two of them was going to get a head on it, and I think it was actually Soloy kind of jumped into Daly in the end, and neither of them made contact with the ball.
Commanding header there by Rijmakers, but it comes back to Majowski, who just hooks it on, and Aarons won't get there. I'm not entirely sure how comfortable Aarons looks being asked to play in that advanced role just at the moment. A little bit unnatural to him, as Ferencvárosi have it at the back through Rijmakers, the Belgian. Started every game in the Europa League. Raskan gets it down to Barron, and then Raskan for Magoma into Barron once more at the edge of the centre circle, just in his own half. He wants Giga to move to his right, but in the end he passes to Tavernier, and now it's back with Giga, and now Barron again. Tavernier's the obvious ball, and that's where it goes, right hand side. Tavernier can advance a little here, just beyond the midway point in the first half. Poor ball forward from Tavernier. Picked up by, well, I was going to say picked up by Barron, but the referee's penalised Tavernier for subsequently running into Ferencvárosi player after giving the ball away, and Ferencvárosi get the free kick. It's Ukrush who's down after that clattering from Tavernier, but it looked pretty innocuous, really, isn't it?
It's not a foul for me. Tavernier's momentum, he can't just stop, and Ukrush was just standing there in his way. It was a collision, but for me it's not a foul.
0-0 then in the Groupama Aréna. Free kick to Ferencvárosi. This goes back to the goalkeeper, Groff, all in fluorescent yellow. Launches it long, looking for Varga. Tries to nod it down for Daly, but can't quite connect, and Fernandez gets it clear. Majowski, who used to play his football in this city with MTK before making the move to Aberdeen, and he can't really trouble the back line there, but Raskan's pinched it in the middle of the park, and he'll move forward. Not too many options, has to check back, but Danilo and Majowski getting up in support. Rangers just slow it down though. Tavernier for Barron. Barron just touches it behind Magoma, which forces him back the way, and he has to quickly play it in to Fernandez, having been put under pressure there by Daly, and then Raskan's given it away in the middle of the park, and it's increasingly untidy, but Magoma's made a good challenge on McCrackis, and now it's Gassama up against Cisse at the edge of the box, plays it into the edge of the box, but behind both Danilo and Majowski, and it's picked up here by O'Dowda, but he's run into trouble, and Rangers will have it back.
It's a wee bit slack from Rangers in possession, giveaways, turnovers, and Gassama there again found himself in a good area, just picked the wrong option.
Magoma on the halfway line to Giga, and Raskan's the short ball, right hand side, looking for options, and Tavernier is one of them, hugging that touchline on the right hand side, and he can come forward and slide it into the feet of Aarons. Aarons about 20 yards from the goal line, back to Tavernier. Tavernier on that right flank still, just rolls it into the path of Raskan, who's just behind him, into Danilo now. Danilo back out to Tavernier, back with Raskan once more, content to keep the ball for now, Rangers, without really going anywhere. Now Tavernier goes forward for Aarons, he can't keep a hold of it. Danilo picks up, but he handled it, and it will be a free kick, and with 25 minutes gone and no goals, gives us a chance to get the thoughts in the early stages from James McFadden. What have you made of it, Faddy?
Action. I'm not going to lie. I think that, we spoke about before the game about Rangers trying to be more solid defensively and don't give up too many opportunities. That one early, the mix up with Giga and Fernandez. Jack Butland's came out and spilt one, but apart from that, as you just speaking about there, Rangers a bit slack in possession. They're looking for, even test the goalkeeper, look like you're going to threaten and score a goal, but I think overall Danilo has to be happy with the start.
Here come Rangers forward through Aarons into the box. Danilo, decent touch, tries to hook over his head. Majowski's goal, offside! Acrobatic effort from Majowski. The flag went up instantly. It will be checked, of course. And Majowski thought he'd added to the 2 goals he scored at the weekend with another clinical effort in front of goal, but just strikes me that the assistants probably got that right. Danilo also looked like he might have been offside in the build-up, but we'll let VAR check. And Tom, what was that?
It looked as if he was in an offside position, but sometimes you never know. I mean, we're in the halfway line, so we can't really tell. Obviously, the linesman's right in line with it. His flag was up instantly, but Danilo tries the overhead kick first, gets it wrong. It spins up into the air, and it's a really acrobatic finish from Majowski. Superb, and if it's in, it is some goal.
The referee is continuing to listen to his assistant. Oh, the goal's given!
Hey.
Bojan Majowski has Rangers in front. Well, it certainly looked like he was lurking in an offside position, but he's gone. The former MTK player has gone right in front of the Ultras to celebrate, and that has not gone down well there with the Ferencvárosi fans. But Bojan Majowski, with really Rangers' first effort on goal, has them ahead. It is Ferencvárosi 0, Rangers 1.
Yeah, I mean, it looked tight, Alistair. Obviously, the guys back in the studio, we don't have TV pictures, well, I've seen it better than us, but what you can't take away is the absolute quality of the goal from Bojan Majowski. He's not far out and he's not under pressure, but he still gets back to goal, does an outrageous bicycle kick down at the goalkeeper's feet and into the back of the net. And it's the first time really that Rangers have had an effort on goal. As James was saying, it's not been that exciting in terms of goal mouth action, but what a goal to put Rangers ahead.
James, can we come back to you for a confirmation that VAR got that right?
Yeah, it looked like they did. I mean, the first angle we watched, it wasn't very clear, and it is extremely tight. But clearly, he's onside, and almost spot on. What a finish it is. Speaking about Majowski and the 2 goals at the weekend, and how much that would give him, a confidence boost. It's an outrageous finish. It really is, and it was tight, but clearly he's onside. Fact, yeah.
Great stuff. Thanks, Faddy. So Rangers lead by a goal to 0 just before the half-hour mark, and the home side, who are keen to keep up their unbeaten records in this competition this season, have a job to do to ensure that happens. Sitting on 11 points coming into this one after a draw here with 10 men against Victoria Pilsen. That was rescued late on, having played all of the second half and a bit of the first with 10, but wins away to Genk and Salzburg, put them in an excellent position. A home win here against Ludogorets, and a 1-1 draw away to Fenerbahce. But here they come looking for an equaliser immediately at the edge of the Rangers box, although Danilo sticks a toe in to cut out the pass from Utvush. The live table, for what it's worth at the moment, has Rangers leapfrogging up to the heady heights of 29th. But well, they can only go out and do what they have to do tonight and win the game, and then give themselves an opportunity perhaps to qualify. But they're on the defensive here, and it's Daly with a chance for the equaliser. It's wide. That is a very, very good chance for Daly, but he's blasted it wide. Slightly on the angle certainly, but again, like his earlier chance, he's probably got to be working the goalkeeper from that distance out. But half an hour in, it's still Ferencvárosi 0, Rangers 1.
It was a lovely wee pass through to him, a wee slide rule pass, and his first touch was exceptional. He took it out of his feet. You're just expecting the net to be hit, but unfortunately for him, that's 2 efforts he's had, both on his left foot, both off target, when it'd been easier to hit the target with each of them. A let off for Rangers just after they'd scored as well.
Yeah, well, the first one was dragged wide, that one was wide at the near post. So Rangers still with a 1-goal lead given to them by Bojan Majowski, his 5th goal of the season, his first in Europe for Rangers. As Ferencvárosi again try and come forward. It's going to be a goal kick, despite the claims there of Kanichovski, but Raskan just knocking the ball off him, and it will be a Rangers goal kick. And well, get the feeling that Bojan Majowski enjoyed that goal as he acrobatically sent it beyond the Ferencvárosi goalkeeper. 2 years he played here in Budapest. 19 goals in his 60 games for MTK, one of Ferencvárosi's city rivals here. Out for a throw-in over on the far side to Ferencvárosi, in midway inside their own half. Back to the goalkeeper it goes. David Groff beaten there for the first time this evening. First game in Europe for him this season. He did play a few last season as well in Europe, as Cisse has it just at the edge of his own box, under pressure from Groupama. Gets it cleared up to the halfway line, but headed forward by Fernandez. Goma's giving it back to Ferencvárosi. Offside flags up against Deli as he brings it under control, and he doesn't agree with the assistant by the looks of his gesture there, but he's not going to change it. So Rangers free kick just inside their own half. We've got about 12 and a half minutes left in this first period. Rangers in front, away from home in the Europa League. Here's Tavernier right hand side, looks to play the give and go with Danilo, but Danilo comes in field instead to Barron, and then Tavernier for Raskan. He was caught late, wasn't he? Barron continues, but looks like he's going to lose out. It's going to be a throw-in. I thought that was a Rangers free kick, not given though, as Giga tumbles in a challenge with Deli, and he gets the free kick midway inside his own half over on the right hand side.
Strong defending from Giga. He was under massive pressure there from Deli. Physical fight. Deli just throwing him to the ground in the end.
Fernandez plays it back to Jack Butland. He'll clip that forward. Aarons can't get there. Tavernier should get there, and he's taken out of play by Deli, who's given him the hand to help him back up. That'll be a Rangers free kick about 15 yards inside their own half. Deli not for retreating the 10 yards. He's going to have to be careful. A couple of fouls and a bit of dissent. Anyway, he moves away now. Rangers in front. Have lost the last 4 away in Europe, conceding 13 goals. Haven't lost 5 away from home on the bounce in Europe since the mid-80s. But they're in a decent position right now, leading by a goal to nil. Bojan Majowski just a few minutes ago. Here's Magoma out to Groupama on the left-hand side for Rangers. Up against Makrekis, comes back to Raskan, about 25-30 yards from goal. Plays it square here to Tavernier. Tavernier might fancy this. Instead he clips it in, looking for Danilo. He's beaten to it by the keeper, clattered in the process. Danilo stayed down. The referee's going to have to stop this as it's played forwards, and Giga will have to steer this back to Jack Butland before Varga gets there. Danilo eventually helping himself up off the ground in the 6-yard box. But was brave in going for that. He was always second favourite.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had to. It was a lovely wee clip ball in from James Tavernier towards the back post, and I don't even know if he sees the keeper out of the corner of his eye, but the goalkeeper comes out and punches, but also takes a good bit of Danilo with it.
Foul on Groupama there by Kanichovski, and Rangers get the free kick about 10 yards inside their own half. Danilo looks to be okay as the Rangers fans sing their manager's name. They'll be hoping he can continue to just show little signs of improvement over the coming games. Here's Aarons right hand side for Rangers. They've looked to add to their advantage, and he's won his side a corner off O'Dowda. How do you think he's done so far, Aarons, in that position?
Yeah, I mean, he's not been involved too much in an attacking sense. In that occasion there, he got the ball, and it was one of the only times he's done it. He opened up and drove forward and looked to get a cross in, and he's won his team a corner from it. He needs to do more of that.
I know a lot of fans over the years have felt like that would be a more natural position maybe for James Tavernier.
Yeah.
But he's in it right back tonight as usual. Here is his corner coming in from the right hand side. Giga will try and attack it, but it's cleared before he can do anything with it. Comes out to Magoma. He plays it square to the left hand side for Barron, who'll sweep it back into the back post. Not a bad looking ball. Good punch though from the keeper. He gets plenty on that, and he was, I think, taken out late, and now the referee stopped play, but more because there's a Rangers player down injured. I think it's Giga who challenged the goalkeeper. Looked like he actually went in late on the keeper, although my eye did kind of move away with the ball as Groff punched it. But
yeah, I don't think it's a foul, Alistair. I mean, I think he comes out and he punches it cleanly, wins the aerial duel, if you like, but he does then clatter into the back of Giga. He's clearly in some discomfort. It's the last thing Rangers needs, another centre half been injured.
Yeah, that's for sure. Referee moving away. He's not getting any treatment, certainly. He's back on his feet. I think that the referee hadn't blown for a free kick, so it should really be. Oh, now he's gone down.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, Al. If it's a head knock, I mean, he got up back up to his feet and then went straight back down. So in this situation,
the Rangers medical team have dashed on now. The Ferencvárosi fans not happy, but a little bit of concern now about Nasser Giga having gone back down. But as I say, the referee hadn't given a free kick, so if it's just a restart, it should be a drop ball to Rangers because they were in possession.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, the main thing is that obviously Nasser Giga is okay at the end of all this.
Yeah, but I mean, if it is, what looks like a head knock, I couldn't tell, but I mean, if it is a head knock, then you probably shouldn't be continuing looking at this. It makes you wonder what Rangers would do. Maybe they would move Tavernier into the right-sided centre half and Max Aarons to right back.
I wonder if the guys in the studio have had a decent view of actually what happened, because as I say, my eye was certainly drawn to the ball which had been punched well out of the area. Fadi, anything to offer us on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Groff comes out to collect the ball. Giga's just stood there. He doesn't make any attempt to go for it. He's just standing in the position that he's in. Groff catches it, and on the way down, I think he catches him with his elbow, potentially in the back of the head. Not massive force in it, but you've got the full weight of a goalkeeper coming down on you. Clearly, Giga feels that he can't continue. Or certainly struggling because of that, but he wasn't challenging for it. He just almost allowed the goalkeeper to get it. The goalkeeper climbs above him and just lands on top of him.
He's showing all the classic signs of a head knock there / brain injury, as we're supposed to call them, because it is the brain that's been messed around with there. As you say, he gets up and he goes back down again. He's holding his head, he's scrunching up his eyes like he's in a bit of a pain, and I really, really hope that Giga doesn't carry on here, because that looks to me like a pretty clear head injury.
Yeah, well, we know that the protocol around head knocks is far more in favour of the player not continuing in such circumstances, so I'm sure the Rangers medical staff will take the decision very much based on that. There's no change coming just now. It looks like there's maybe some sort of disturbance in the crowd away to our left. Not entirely sure what's going on there, but Giga's actually jogging down the touchline. I think he is going to come back on. He looks okay. The medical team are saying to him, just hold on, it's not your decision, because so often the players want to come back on. Anyway, the ball's back in play, and Rangers haven't been able to make anything of that, and it's back in the possession of Groff. So we've played 40 minutes, so there'll be significant time added on as a result of that. Giga is going to come back on, having been spoken to by the medical team, and Ferencvárosi coming forward. Majowski comes back, makes a good challenge. He was looked like he was caught in. Danilo's giving it away in the middle of the park, and there could be an opportunity here down the left-hand side. It's O'Dowda into the box, or he tries to. Aarons gets the block in. Ferencvárosi fans thought that was a handball, but it didn't appear to be. Giga still not being allowed back on. The fourth official was being questioned by the Rangers staff there as to why they're still playing with 10 as the knockdown comes in. Varga beaten to it by Tavernier, and now a free kick goes to Rangers with Aarons down, and Giga surely now.
Why has he not been allowed back on?
No
It's
idea.
outrageous. He's still not on.
Yeah, now he comes back on. Looks to be okay, so we hope certainly that that there's no further repercussions with that, because clearly if the guys in the studio have looked at that and felt that he takes a significant blow, then it feels like it's a bit of a risk. But you have got to trust, I guess, the medical team who know their jobs and know their players' welfare is the main thing. There's another Rangers player, I think it's Aarons, who's down. He was caught in the penalty area just a few moments ago, and now he's being attended to by the Rangers medics with the 3.5 minutes of the 45 to play, but we could easily have another 5 minutes or thereabouts.
I mean, I didn't see particularly what happened to Aarons there. He was just clearing the ball, and I think maybe he got caught, but it's the medical staff again are looking at the top half of his body, not his legs, so makes you think it might be another head knock. I think it is. He's holding his head. I think the Ferencvárosi supporters are enjoying this too much.
No, I think that's a fair assessment. They're trailing by a goal to nil. Bojan Majowski's acrobatic effort on 27 minutes. Initially flagged offside by the assistant on the far side, but VAR had a look and double checked, and as it turned out, he was onside and the goal was given as Aarons is back on his feet and Butland prepares to take the free kick. Well, you can hear what the home crowds think about this, but I don't think either Giga or Aarons were remotely at it. I think both of them took blows to the head as Aarons comes back on. I think he's come back on without being given permission, and he might well be booked for that. The referee's going to show him a yellow card. He's claiming he didn't realise, but Aarons goes into the referee's boot, the first booking of the evening, and there's certainly a passionate lot around about these parts.
I mean, he didn't allow Giga back onto the pitch, you know, when he was standing at the side for about a good 50 seconds, even a minute, and then on that occasion, I didn't see him signal over to Max Aarons. Maybe Max Aarons just felt as though he would make the decision to come onto the pitch, but he's been booked for it.
Yeah, so it's an indirect free kick to Ferencvárosi. It's been very little football in the last 5 or 7 minutes, but Ferencvárosi will get the free kick here. Just about 90 seconds left of the 45, but significant injury time to come as Aarons is now allowed back on before the free kick is taken. Into the middle of the park it comes, and into Rijmakers once more, just at the edge of the centre circle for the home side. Clips it forward looking for Varga, who just chests it down to his right to Makrekis on the right flank for Ferencvárosi. Back to Cisse, and now for Rijmakers, and out to the left hand side for Soloy, and then O'Dowda back to the Rijmakers. Rangers will be pretty content ultimately with the way this has gone, especially if they can get in at 1-0 at half time. That'd be ideal.
I've not been overly impressed with the Hungarians, to be honest with you, Alistair. Given it's their home game, I was expecting more from them.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely had good results. You can't quibble with that, but they haven't been massively impressive tonight so far, at least. Time for improvement though, and Robbie Keane will at worst hope to get them in and sort things out at half time, as Rijmakers has it once more. Up to the halfway line he comes, and then out to the left hand side for Soloy. Rangers just sitting really in a back five just now as Tavernier makes a good challenge, and then Raskan tries to bring it forward. It is 5 minutes to be added on. Majowski loses out in the middle of the park, and Ferencvárosi will come forward once more, but Danilo this time doing the backtracking. He goes down, no foul though, but it does break for Aarons midway inside his own half. Just tries to clip it down the right, comes off Ferencvárosi player and out for a throw-in over on the far side. We're into those 5 minutes of added on time now. It's Ferencvárosi 0, Rangers 1. Bojan Majowski's first European goal for Rangers is the difference between the sides right now, as the Hungarians get a throw-in over on the far side. Coming down the left flank as they look for an equaliser before the interval. It's Tote on the angle of the box, out to his left hand side to O'Dowda. No way through for him, but it will be another throw in to the home side, more or less in line with the penalty area now of Rangers as they look to defend this advantage they have going in at half time. Another long throw in looks to be incoming from that left hand side. Rangers looking to hold firm, flicked on at the near post, but straight behind of the head of Barnabas Varga, who's he's certainly been a nuisance up front for Ferencvárosi, but he hasn't really had any opportunities of his own to test Jack Butland.
He's not. I mean, the two biggest chances in the game probably have both fallen to Dele, and as we pointed out, he's missed the target with both throws. Varga, yeah, I mean, he's very good in the air, you can see that. His link-up play is decent, physical presence, but he's not had a sniff yet.
Jack Butland with the goal kick then, hammers it over the halfway line, looking for Danilo to go and contest that, which he does. Comes off Rijmakers. Now it's Makrekis coming down the right hand side into the feet of Dele. He's backing into Fernandes. He's waved to his feet as Majowski picks up and finds Danilo on the halfway line. Danilo pokes it through the legs there of Kanichowski. Comes out to the right hand side. Tavernier guilty of a foul though, gone to the assistant over on the far side, and it will be a free kick to Ferencvárosi.
It's been a scrappy old last 10 minutes, is it not?
Sure has.
So stop-start.
Rangers will probably take that though, won't they, at this stage, if they can get in. There's who's that? I can't quite see who that is that's down at the moment over on the far side for the home side, but whoever it was challenged by
is it Varga?
By Tavernier.
Yeah, it's Varga.
He's all the way back in his own half. He's up now, and it'll be a free kick to Ferencvárosi, who trail by a goal to nil in injury time here at the end of the first half. Free kick taken into Rijmakers, still about 20 yards inside his own half. Plays it forward for Tote, back to Rijmakers, and now Cisse on the right hand side, closed down by Gassama, but gets it down the right. Good header from Fernandes into Barron, who's then knocked off the ball, but Raskan picks up left hand side, tries to come forward, knocked out of play there by Tote. Rangers throw in. Raskan wants Barron to come into the space. In the end, Magoma just takes over throw-in duties, and he goes back the way to Fernandes. He'll play all the way back to Butland. Butland, first time, just not taking any chances on that occasion. Over the halfway line he goes onto the head of Cisse. That's nicked back though by Magoma. Barron goes down. Dele's won it ahead of Danilo, and now it's Makrekis out to the right hand side for Tote. Majowski's back there trying to make sure the cross doesn't come in. It does come in though. Tote, and Butland takes that one as he backpedaled it to his back post and took that one well. Probably the most difficult catch he's had, and he takes it well.
Yeah, it was a big old floaty cross from Tote right to the back post, and Jack Butland did well, watches it all the way, and safe pair of hands. He had a bit of a rocky start at the early part of the game, a couple of dodgy kind of pass backs or pass outs, but that was good handling.
Deep into stoppage time here in Budapest, still Ferencvárosi 0, Rangers 1 at the end of the first half. Ferencvárosi have it over on the far side, and it comes to Rijmakers, the centre of defence. He's seen plenty of the ball, back out to Soloy to his left, and then forward it goes to O'Dowda. Now it's Varga, nice little link up there into Kanichowski. It goes, then Tote gets out to the left hand side. There's a one final chance in this first half, and towards Dele, comes beyond him, beyond Magoma, who didn't want to touch it as it came across goal. Makrekis picks up, and Kanichowski gets it back to him, right hand side into, as a good dummy there from Cisse. Cisse gets it back, now he'll cut it back. There's the equaliser right on the stroke of half time. Wonderful play from Cisse before it is knocked into the back of the net by Benes Utush. It was a well constructed goal, you'd have to say, as Rangers failed to keep a clean sheet yet again in the Europa League. And just on half time, it is Ferencvárosi 1, Rangers 1.
Yeah, it's a sucker blow for Rangers, but you've got to say the quality in the goal was exceptional. Really, really good play. As you rightly pointed out from Cisse, Rangers will be disappointed probably about how they defended it, and especially losing a goal right on the half-time whistle.
Yeah, that's exactly when it's come. There's no time to kick off again, and Utvos takes the plaudits from his teammates there as they head up the tunnel level. Rangers having gone ahead through Bojan Majowski on 27 minutes, their first effort on goal. Danilo initially trying the overhead kick, it didn't quite come off, but it did fall kindly for Majowski, who pretty much simulated exactly what Danilo had done. This time he caught it more sweetly and fired it beyond David Groff, in the Hungarian goal, but just on the interval there. Some good forward play. The captain Ibrahim Cisse forward from right centre back with a 1-2 before cutting it back into the path of Bensa Utvush, and he tucked it beyond Jack Butland, perhaps with the aid of a deflection, but nonetheless into the back of the net. So at half time in Budapest, it's Ferencváros 1, Rangers 1.
Rangers in the UEFA Europa League.
Live on Sports Sound
From BBC Radio Scotland.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Andy Burke. Half time in the Europa League, and Rangers have been pegged back in Budapest. Ferencváros equalising with the final kick of the first half. A real sucker punch for Rangers. How will they respond in the second half? At 8 o'clock we'll have a choice of listening for you with live coverage of Celtic versus Roma, also in the Europa League, or if you prefer we'll also have commentary of Aberdeen versus Strasbourg in the Conference League, so stay tuned for those. Alistair Lamont and Stephen Thompson have been describing the first half action in Budapest. James McFadden and Tom English are alongside me in the studio. And James, I was literally just writing that things going according to plan for Rangers. They've got to the break with 1 goal lead and then just a real sickener right on half time.
Yeah, it was. It looked like it was going to be, the perfect half for Rangers. Outstanding goal they scored, outstanding quality from Miovski, but you felt that they were just trying to get to half time and try and preserve that clean sheet. I mean, it is good play from Ferencváros down the right hand side, but it's too easy. Gassama coming off the left, not matching a run, and there's a big deflection. I think Jack Butland potentially right behind it, going to get a decent save to end the half, and it is a big blow because as much as it's not been a tremendous free-flowing display from Rangers, been a solid performance, solid display, and just another second it would have been ideal for Rangers. But look, they'll have to go again, and they'll have to go and try and get that lead, and I would say use the ball a bit better in the second half. But overall, look, I think they can be happy enough with how the first half's gone.
Yeah, Tom, they'd done a decent job, Rangers, of frustrating Ferencváros. We heard the crowd starting to get a bit antsy. The game was getting a bit stop-start. The home fans weren't happy, and then all of a sudden that goal goes in and you can hear them all right up for it again.
Yeah, the weird thing about that half is that there was 2 shots on target and both of them ended up in goals. Only 2 shots, 1 each. And you're right, like Ferencváros, I was like the lads over there. I was really disappointed. Yeah. I was expecting a lot more than this. You see the results that they've had, Varga, a few others. They seem to be a fairly formidable team. But for 45 minutes there, I just thought they were pedestrian. I thought they were slow on the ball. Rangers containing them comfortably. I mean, it wasn't backs to the wall or anything like it. Butland wasn't having one of his Jack Butland nights. He didn't have a save to make. And then they get the goal, and it was a bit of a deflection. So it's okay. So it's 1-1. That's still okay for Rangers. A bit of a sucker blow at the end of the half, but 1-1 at half time, away from home, that's fine. If they finish 1-1, that's a fine result for Rangers. That's a good confidence booster. Just a bit of a sickener that they couldn't last another minute or even last another few seconds, and they take a lead in at the break. But it's okay.
Yeah, Stephen Thompson, that goal right on half time, probably the first bit of real quality we've seen from Ferencváros in an attacking sense tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think the second of Dele's chances where he hits the side net, and it was actually a really good bit of football as well. Probably the only time they've cut Rangers open, apart from that goal right on half time there. Yeah, I mean, I'm with Tom. I've not been overly impressed with Ferencváros so far in the game, and I think Rangers have been fairly comfortable in the match. They've defended well at periods, and they've kept the ball reasonably well at periods, but they've also given it away cheaply at times as well. And I feel when they're getting into the final third, they've just lacked a wee bit of conviction. You rightly point out only 1 shot on target for Rangers, and that was obviously the Miovski goal. But you don't need to put in that sort of attacking performance when you're away from home in Europe, and they were seconds away from getting into half time with a kind of perfect recipe: defending well, making the opposition get frustrated, scoring the 1 chance you get, and then at half time, however, you would feel that Robbie Keane won't be impressed with his team's performance in that first half. They've managed to get the goal. You'd expect that they will up their levels as we move into the second half.
Let's talk about Bojan Majovski's goal, James. We spoke before the game, those 2 goals against Kilmarnock. What would that do for his confidence? That was a confident finish.
Absolutely. And that's, strikers, they just need that. Sometimes they just need that goal. They just need that feeling of being the main man. And Majovski certainly had that. It was 2 goals at the weekend. You could tell he was desperate for his hat-trick. And the finish is, I know he's close, but it's just unorthodox the way he does it. Comes over his right hand side, he swivels, and acrobatic effort. It's a brilliant finish. Also, you need to add that he's getting himself into a position where he can have an impact. He does well to keep himself on side, but that is a player that has been hugely lifted from scoring 2 goals at the weekend, from feeling like, because most part of the season, and certainly under Danny Rule, it's been Chermiti, because he's the big money signing. He's probably, he's definitely had more chances than anybody else to lead the line and to earn the shirt. Majovski will now feel that he's earned it, and he's there. It's his to lose, and that as a striker, you grow. You don't overthink it. That's a finish that he's thought. Nothing beforehand, he's just done it, and afterwards he's like, I feel in this moment that no matter what I try, he's going to come off.
I thought it was great athleticism for a start, but the improvisation of it I thought was excellent. The way it looked like it was going to be an overhead kick, and then he just turns his body and it becomes a kind of a different type of volley. I thought it was an exceptional goal, and it just goes to show that the 2, what you're saying before, the 2 goals at the weekend, and he tries that. If he didn't score at the weekend, does he try something like that? Does he play it safe? Does he not back himself? I just thought it was a brilliant goal. Really, really not McTominay-esque, but not half bad.
Yeah, it's amazing, Stephen, what confidence does for a striker, isn't it?
Oh, I could write a book on it. I really could. You go through spells when you've not been scoring goals, missing opportunities, and it really plays with your head. I remember a few spells in my career, especially at Cardiff City, and just getting myself down about it, and it affects your confidence so badly on the pitch. And it's just so funny because it flips instantly when you hit the back of that net. The relief is it's hard to describe, and then with that relief then comes the confidence, and
wouldn't it be a good book if you couldn't describe it?
Okay, Tommy Ghostwriter. Seeing as that's his real job. But, it's everything to a striker, and you see when the players go on streaks, and probably Majovski and spell at Aberdeen before his move. He was one of those types of players, and strikers go through these spells. Lawrence Shankland, the goals he scored for Hearts, but he had a wee spell probably where he wasn't being as prolific last season, but the quality's always there. And as much as Majovski hasn't looked the player that I think Rangers supporters thought they were going to get, this is going to go a long way to him showing it now, and his confidence will just grow and grow. And obviously, when you've got the backing of the manager as well, and he puts you in, you feel confident, you think, right, the manager likes me, and the fans will start to love him if he keeps this sort of goal-scoring record up. So, no, delighted for him, and it was an exceptional goal.
Well, it's a big week for Scottish football. 3 European matches tonight, Premiership action on Saturday, and on Sunday there's a big one at Hampden.
Spectacular! Recent form can inform when picking a favourite. In the Premiership, St Mirren held Celtic goalless until the 95th minute.
What a goal from Callum McGregor! The last kick of this game!
But on the road to Hampden, St Mirren stunned in the semis.
There's another goal for Mikel Batshuayi! Motherwell 1, St Mirren 4!
With just 3 days for Celtic to recover from the Europa League, who is the real favourite? The Scottish League Cup Final, St Mirren versus Celtic, Sunday afternoon at 3:30 on Sports Sound. Listen on digital radio or ask your smart speaker to play BBC Radio Scotland.
Yes, St Mirren versus Celtic, the League Cup final on Sunday. It should be a belter, and you'll be able to follow it right here on Sports Sound. Of course, Celtic in action tonight themselves in the Europa League. They're up against Roma. Kick-off at Celtic Park is at 8 o'clock. Our match commentator Liam McLeod is already in place. And Liam, this is going to be a big old test for Celtic tonight.
Sure is, Andy, no question. Roma in Glasgow for the second time in this tournament. They were across the city at Ibrox just about a month ago, and they swept Rangers aside 2-0. Didn't really have to get out of second gear. In all honesty, they were a class above, maybe even a couple of classes above, and Celtic will be hoping to bridge that gap this evening. Roma very much in a title fight in Serie A. It's been such a long time since they lifted the Scudetto, but they're in amongst it. In fact, very recently they were top of Serie A for the first time in a decade before back-to-back defeats there against the defending champions Napoli, and on Sardinia against Cagliari at the weekend, back-to-back 1-0 losses. And Celtic looking to bounce back from a defeat themselves when they were beaten here 2-1 by Hearts in Wilfred Nancy's first game in charge of the club. There's been all kinds of things said in the wake of that about the manager himself, about the little tactics board that he had, even with his footwear, which is pretty incredible. But he'll be looking to try and kickstart his Celtic managerial career. He's got a huge few days coming up with that cup final you're talking about to come in just a few days' time at Hampden against St Mirren. But for tonight, we reckon Celtic need 4 points out of the last 9 available to them, with a home game against Utrecht finishing things off. They've got another Italian side up next after this one, away from home in Bologna, and the new manager has named the same 11 that started the game against Hearts here at the weekend. So it's that new shape that we're going to have to get used to seeing Celtic in. Schmeichel in goal. The three centre-backs, all left-footed, of course. Trusty, Scales and Tierney. Yang and Tenekti on either side of the midfield wing-backs, with Engels and McGregor in the middle. Nygren and Hatate supporting Daisen Maeda up front. The Celtic bench this evening: Sinisalo, Duen, Balikwisha, Cowaney, Iheanacho, Kenny, Bernardo, Murray, Donovan and Ralston. I'm sure there will be some eyebrows raised for the fact that Nancy puts out the same 11 as started the game against Hearts, but they were very good in the opening 20-25 minutes of that one before Hearts turned the tables on them. But really, as I say, 4 points out of the last 9 available required. I don't think a draw, even though they're at home, even though there'll be a full expectant crowd inside Celtic Park tonight, I don't think a draw is a bad result for the Scottish champions this evening. I'll bring you more on Roma before kick-off.
Big night at Celtic Park. Liam and Pat Borner will take you through all the action from 8 o'clock. We'll have a choice of listening. You can also listen to Aberdeen versus Strasbourg in the Conference League live from Pittodrie, should you so wish. James McFadden, the team news there from Liam. Celtic go same again.
Yeah, look, and first of all, you're looking at it and thinking it's quite surprising, because, you know, I mentioned about Tenetke and maybe not being suited to playing as a wing back, but on the other side of that, you've got a manager that's come in. I mean, he's received his fair share of criticism over the weekend, having only worked with the players for 2 days. So it probably makes sense that, you know, if you're not making loads of changes into the personnel, you've not got as much work to do in reinforcing that message. And so clearly, I think the first half performance was good on Sunday against Hearts, and I'm not surprised really then when you look at it that he's going to continue to work this way, so it'll be easier to get the players that have already had the work and played the game to then try and make them do that better. Be interesting to see whether it's Trusty, Scales or Tierney on that right hand side.
Yeah, Celtic versus Roma coming up at 8 o'clock, as is Aberdeen versus Strasbourg in the Conference League. But we are focused on Rangers at the moment. Half-time in Budapest, they are drawing 1-1 with Ferencvárosi. The teams are back out on the field, so let's hand back to our commentary team of Stephen Thompson and Alistair Lamont.
Thanks again, Andy. James Tavernier in deep conversation with the Greek referee, and I'm fairly sure he's explaining to him just why Max Aarons was booked in that first period. And as we prepare to kick off once more, I was going to say Max Aarons is tucked in at right back, but James Tavernier's just shoved him 20 yards forward, so it looks like that similar shape with the 4 at the back. Aarons starting in a more advanced role on the right hand side as Ferencvárosi prepare to kick us off. No changes at the interval to either side, so the referee looks happy that we can resume with the scores at 1 apiece. The goal by Utvush right on the stroke of half-time, levelling things up after Bojan Majowski had given Rangers a lead just before the half-hour mark. Here come Ferencvárosi then down the left-hand side in the early stages through Kanichowski. There's a foul there by Raskan on the goal scorer Utvush, and a free kick goes the way the home side, left-hand side, just 10 yards, maybe slightly less from that left touch line, midway inside the Rangers half. But an early opportunity here for the Ferencvárosi players to try and test Rangers again. The spider cam has come down very low. Don't usually see it as low as it is. Anyway, in comes the free kick to the near post. Danilo gets something clear. Totes tries to help it out to Utvush again, and he's charged down on that occasion. And Rangers managed to clear the lines, but an early scare for the visiting side.
Yeah, it was actually good defending from Rangers in the end, managing to get out and get bodies in front of it and get the block in from Utvush.
Varga doesn't lose a lot in the air, just climbed above Fernandes there, above Giga there, and won the flick on, but fortunately for Rangers it went straight to them. And they've got a throw in now just inside their own half. Into Danilo it goes, little back heel for Aarons, tries to get past O'Dowda, then Majowski's there to try and help out. It's going to be a free kick, I think. It was a little pull by Majowski, and the assistant referee spotted it, and so free kick to Ferencvárosi just inside their own half on the left hand side, taken infield to Rijmakers and out to Cisse, who played such a crucial role in that goal, the equaliser. It's played through, and out comes Butland, gets there just before Daly is tried to be shepherded back to him. Raskan's under significant pressure at the edge of his own box, gets the pass away. Well, Tavernier's asking why was the advantage not played, because he's in a decent position there, and the referee had already blown and is making them go back to the edge of their own penalty area after Raskan had actually done well under significant pressure.
Right, he was under massive pressure heading towards his own goal and dug out this wee reverse pass into Tavernier's feet, who was going to set off down the wing, but the referee gave the foul, and he's given another one. The Ferencvárosi fans are not enjoying this, ref, I tell you that. Yeah, that was Gassama, but on that occasion Gassama did what I mentioned in the first half, because Cisse is, he's a big, powerful defender, Tom, and he's also quite quick, so he's trying to nip in front of Gassama. But so Gassama is going to need to just take a clattering at times by getting himself in between man and ball, and that's exactly what happened on that occasion. Yep, you're right. Thanks. Welcome. Rangers throw in then left hand side, deep in their own territory. Might find that a lot of the game is played in this kind of area in the second half, as Daly though knocks the ball out of play over on the far side. We've played 48 and it's still 1 apiece as it was at the interval. Rangers run another throw in, Magoma to take left hand side, midway inside his own half this time, looking for options. Might look a foul throw. Knocked it into Raskan. It'll be another Rangers throw-in just inside their own half this time, still left hand side. Magoma being waved back by the referee, 5 yards inside his own half, as he again waits for a decent option to present itself. Majowski goes and offers himself, instead it goes into Gassama, who flicks it on, and Danilo will come across, links with Majowski, but in steps Makrekis and knocks the ball forward down the right hand side. Fernandes winning the header, knocked forward once more by Tote, one for Daly to chase, and across comes Tavernier, down goes Daly rather hopefully inside the penalty area. It wasn't a massive amount of contact there with Tavernier, and I think he would have It's never a penalty. Never a penalty, but Giga's got to do better with the initial ball that's bounced to the edge of the box, and he kind of gets caught underneath it and allows a wee half look at the ball for Daly.
There's Gassama, goes down, Raskan takes it up, but he's dispossessed, and now they come forward, and it's Varga, and Giga's trying to get back at him, but Varga slides in, but slides it wide.
No, it's a tackle.
Well, Giga certainly made the challenge. I thought also the ball came off Giga last for sure, and he's getting congratulations to James Tavernier for being able to get back in time, but The recovery run was a good one from Giga, but Varga will feel he could have got the shot away, but remains Ferencvárosi 1, Rangers 1.
Well, yeah, I mean, Rangers get caught out of position a wee bit, and the slide rule pass through to Varga. He's bearing down on goal, one-on-one with Jack Butland, but Giga's pace and power to get back, and in the sliding tackle just as Varga was about to pull the trigger. You're probably right, he could have hit it a metre before he did.
Corner kick from the left-hand side then to be taken by Tote into the near post, knocked away by the Rangers defence and picked up by Kanichowski. Back out to the left-hand side for Tote, and Kanichowski once more swings it in. That looks too close to Butland, who gathers on the edge of his 6-yard area, and after 50 minutes it's still Ferencvárosi 1, Rangers 1, as Aarons has it right-hand side, feeds it forward for Danilo. Danilo is under pressure and can't bring it under control, and out for a throw-in, which is already taken into Rijmakers as it goes. Now Cisse. A draw tonight wouldn't certainly end Ferencvárosi's hopes of automatic qualification. It would put them on to 12 with 2 games to play. 14 was enough last season for Rangers just to sneak in 8th place, although not every team on that points mark did make it into the top 8, but still 2 further games to play as Rangers give it away again. Giga with another important challenge, this time on Daly to knock it out of play. 6.5 minutes gone in this second half, still 1-all as O'Dowda prepares to take the throw-in just in front of his compatriot and manager Robbie Keane. 6 months at Celtic back in 2010, as he was talking about yesterday, was personally pretty successful, 16 goals in 19 games, but as he was quick to point out, they were already well behind in the league title race that season, and too much to make up even with that goal return from a prolific striker.
He was some player.
Yeah, top player in his day. Rangers have a goal kick on 52 minutes, which is taken short to Butland by Fernandez, and Butland knocks it out to the right hand side to Giga, who will be closed down by Daly. Up to the halfway line it goes, looking for Majowski, breaks out to the left hand side for Soloy. Giga doing well again there against Daly, picked up by Danilo. Danilo gets a break of the ball there and then leaves it to Raskan. Raskan back to Barron just inside his own half, looks left, looks right, then just holds on to it, and then he slides it for Tavernier to the right hand side. About 15 yards inside the Ferencvárosi half, out to Aarons it comes, up against O'Dowda here. Can he try and get the better of him, get the cross away? He's now got 2 men on him, tries to just play it into the area. It's decent enough from Aarons. He's played it off O'Dowda and got his side a corner.
They doubled up on him, and you know, he didn't really have a trick to get by the full back, and eventually just tries to swing a cross in. Comes off the Ferencvárosi defender and round for a corner kick in front of the Rangers fans.
Yep, James Tavernier to take. 53 minutes gone. Right hand side here, this corner. Outswinger to be sent in as Rangers look to try and regain the lead. So, low ball, not a great ball from Tavernier, although Danilo almost made something of it, but the goalkeeper clutches that one without too much trouble. He hasn't been overly troubled all evening, but he has had to pull the ball out the back of the net from Bojan Majowski's acrobatic first half effort. Beyond that, not a great deal for him to do.
For neither goalie, really.
No, that's true. Mikey Moore looked like he was being called back in to maybe get stripped to come on early in this second period.
Yeah, I'd imagine it'd be for Danilo. He's kind of, I mean, he's done okay, but a couple of times he's given the ball away cheaply in those wee pockets where I think Mikey Moore would be more effective.
So Dowda forward. Again, Giga's done well initially against Daly, but then he's had it pinched off him by the striker, and he makes his way back into the penalty area as Daly continues down the left, and then he plays it off Tavernier and out for a throw-in down that left-hand side, down near the corner flag. The referee saying there's 2 balls on the park, so one of them needs to be knocked off. It is by Tavernier before this another long throw, and by the looks of it can be taken left hand side in an advanced situation for Ferencvárosi as they look to get their noses in front into the near post it comes. It's another good header, this time by Fernandez. And clear up to the halfway line where Rijmakers will just turn it all the way back to David Groff. And he launches it long in the direction of Varga. That's a mismatch, and it's down for Dele. It's another brilliant challenge from Giga to deny Dele as he was poised to shoot. The long right leg of Giga came across him and blocked the effort, but Tavernier losing out against Varga in the air. I mean, it's a complete mismatch, as I say. It was always going to fall to the feet of Dele as Fernandez takes a chance there against Varga, but spins away from him well and now brings it forward, and he's still going over the halfway line before Barron takes over. He's lost it though on the halfway line, and Rangers will have to funnel back with Fernandez up the park. Raskan's trying to cover for him as Tote has it on the right hand side now. It's Makrekis sends it in. Varga looking to get on the end of it. He does do, but it's a glancing header rather than a planted header, which would have caused Jack Butland more trouble, and it's well wide of target. And it's still after 56 minutes as Mikey Moore prepares to come on. Ferencváros 1, Rangers 1.
They just raised it a wee bit these last 5 minutes. I mean, yeah, it's a brilliant flick on from Varga through to Dele. Again, he takes too much time trying to get his shot away, and it allows Giga to get over. Another brilliant tackle from Giga. That's 2 in the space of the last 10 minutes from Giga, but I do feel as though Dele could have got his shot away with a wee bit more urgency.
I think the thing is though, as Fernandez just gets a little bit lucky as it comes off his back, as Dele was almost in behind him. Barron plays it back there to Giga and into Danilo, who's given it away in a dangerous area. It's the goal scorer Utvush who picks up, and he's going to get another bite at it now. Tote out to the left hand side, it's behind O'Dowda, and Danilo makes a half decent challenge, but O'Dowda's too strong and has managed to keep it in. Sterling's going to come on for his first appearance since the quarter-final against Athletic Bilbao as Tote plays it into the area, and Giga with an important interception there, and now it's come back to Aarons. I think Danny Rose would be quite happy for it to be knocked out of play just at the moment so he can get these 2 changes on, but that's not going to happen. Majowski waving Rangers up the park as it's back in the possession of Groff. Sterling and Moore preparing to come on here. This ball's still in play though as Tote comes forward. Rangers kind of holding on just at the moment, but Tavernier makes a good interception and plays it infield to Raskan, and now on to Barron. Barron out to the left hand side for Gassama. Gassama's he's infuriated by the pass which was behind him from Barron, but generally speaking he hasn't really been able to get into the game as much as Rangers would have liked.
No,
as Aarons is about to be replaced by Sterling, as I say, for his first appearance since going off injured with a cruciate or Achilles, I beg your pardon, injury they picked up against Athletic Bilbao.
It's Gassama.
And yeah, Gassama, he's not happy. But as I say, Stephen, he's not really. I mean, he's playing in that position where I've kind of been saying for a while.
Yeah.
I think that's by far his strongest position. But he's not had a great service, but he's not done enough to get into the game himself.
No, I would agree with that, and I think in the couple of occasions where he has had the ball and you're looking for him to face up the defender and produce a wee bit of magic, it's not just quite been there tonight for him. Frustrating evening for him, but Mikey Moore certainly made an impact when he came off the bench against Kilmarnock, and he'll be looking to do the same here.
So a double change for Rangers as Raskan slips, and that allows Ferencváros to come piling forward, and it's Tote who's leading that charge into the penalty area. He goes, Barron's with him to the right hand side, looking for an option now. Crosses half cut out, Raskan's misjudged it though, comes into the penalty area, and Dele looking to link up there. Rangers can't scramble it clear just yet. Then Raskan takes over and brings it forward, and he's brushed aside 2 or 3 challenges, then runs into a final one that he can't get beyond, and Ferencváros have it back. Varga forces it back the way, and now it's Kanichovski in the middle of the park.
The tempo's gone up, it really has, from Ferencváros. You can hear the energy from the crowd as well.
Kanichovski once more in the midfield, almost an hour on the clock here. 1-1 it stands between Ferencváros and Rangers as Tote once more picks up a talented young Hungarian international. Looks like he's got a bright future ahead of him. Utvush now out to the right hand side to Cisse, who gets it back once more on the halfway line. Rijmakers now picking up and then plays it forward. Not a great ball and it's given away to Danilo, but Danilo has just given it away so cheaply there.
He's been doing it for the last 10-15 minutes. That's why I'm surprised he didn't come off.
Yeah. It was a gift of possession in the middle of the park, and all he needed to do was just take care of it and get his team up the park, maybe build an attack, but instead they're back in the defensive as Varga looks to flick it on. Well read by Tavernier. Tavernier at the edge of his own box. Barron's given it away poorly in the middle of the park, and now there's an opportunity here for Tote to shoot. Doesn't get a hold of it, and that's an easy one for Butland, who goes down to his right. Robbie Keane not happy about something down there, and the referee, I'm not sure what the referee's actually indicating there. Oh, he's counting down. He's counting down the 8 seconds. So quite rare he actually, or I've noticed that, I have to say, since that rule was brought in the summer. Hasn't been overly enforced in my experience either, as the ball's knocked back to David Groff in the Ferencvárosi goal. Bojan Majowski trying to fix his boot here as Raskan heads it forwards, and then Barron will pick up in a loose ball in the middle of the park. Midway inside the Ferencvárosi half, Majowski's back in play as Barron knocks it back to Sterling. It's good to see him back in a Rangers jersey. Raskan runs into trouble, but Majowski picks up and feeds Tavernier, and now it's Magoma in a central area. Fernandez is behind him just outside the centre circle. He plays it square to Sterling, who's just occupying that role that Aarons was playing. Now it's forward for Tavernier. Tavernier looked to link there with Barron. He's going to get it back anyway. Daly's with him, and he just tries to see that behind for a corner, which he manages to do. Tavernier, and Rangers will have another chance from a set piece. 61.5 played. Ferencvárosi 1, Rangers 1.
Yeah, with Sterling coming on, it gives them another option in there as well. They've got 4 or 5 really big guys. If the quality of the ball is on point, it's a good opportunity this for Rangers.
Short option is Mikey Moore. Tavernier over it as well on the right hand side, as Ferencvárosi have got just one defender over, which might tempt Rangers into playing the short corner. Their new set piece coach on duty has been taken short to Moore. Now it's back with Tavernier once more. Now he stands up to the back post. It's won by Fernandez, but he can only direct it away out to the left hand side, and it's going to be a free kick actually. I think Fernandez just caught one of the Ferencvárosi players there as he made his way out of the penalty area, and it will be that free kick. 62.5 played, 1-1.
It's a good ball in from James Tavernier after the wee short corner routine with Moore. Fernandez gets up well but doesn't make any connection with it.
You were talking about the Giga, a couple of good Giga challenges, and they absolutely were. The only thing for me is that they have to be last ditch. Like, he absolutely has to get them bang on, which I suppose, as good as the challenges themselves are, with better positional play and awareness, they probably wouldn't have to make them quite as I say, last ditch.
Yeah, possibly.
He's O'Dowd on the left hand side, sends it back post. Butland on the stretch once more, but he's able to hang on to that one before Makrekis can cause him any trouble. So still one apiece, no changes yet from the home side. Again, Jack Butland's getting a count from the referee as he rolls it out to Raskan and then plays it to Giga for Sterling. Sterling quickly closed down, back into Raskan. He clips it forward for Majowski. Comes back to Raskan. In the middle of the park now it's Danilo. Majowski's stayed down, but Danilo leads Rangers forwards. He's played out to the left hand side to Moore, and maybe just behind him, but Moore should have done a lot better. It looks like a dead leg that Majowski's feeling there. I hope it's a dead leg rather than a hamstring.
Nothing wrong with him.
Well, that's not the body language he's given off to me, but anyway, it's out for a throw-in over on the far side. Again, Rangers just a little bit slack in possession, and it just needs to be that bit better if they're to try and get themselves back in front here, or at least hold on for the point, which would end their hopes of Europa League qualification, but nonetheless, as James McFadden was saying earlier on, would still be, a decent enough result. Or maybe it was Tom, I always get the two mixed up.
Yeah, they look quite similar.
Just similar characters altogether. Here come Ferencvárosi forward once more down the right hand side, played into the near post. Not a good ball, but Fernandez really makes a decent enough pass out, but Moore can't hold on to it, and that's a couple of times he's lost it. And now they come forward again, the home side. It's Tote out to the right hand side to Makrekis. That's poor cross from him though, and Rangers have been a bit fortunate at times that they've not had to pay further for some of the slack play as Finlay Curtis prepares to come on. I think this is going to be Danilo this time.
But I thought so. And then Majovski's down, is sitting down as well.
Even though you said there was nothing wrong with him.
Well, it didn't look like it to me, but he maybe just wants off. Chermiti's getting ready as well, so.
Yeah, well, looks like it might be a double change again for Rangers as the physio is waved on to treat Bojan Majovski. So Finlay Curtis certainly coming on. We'll wait to see the fourth officials board in terms of who he's going to replace. Still the wait goes on as Majovski's being treated. Maybe they're just waiting to make sure that he's going to be okay or otherwise before they decide whether Chermiti will also come on. Anyway, yeah, it's going to be Danilo who's replaced by Finlay Curtis.
He just had a bit of a slack second half, Danilo, in terms of linking the ball and keeping it for Rangers. Too many giveaways.
Chermiti is going to come on for Majovski. He's putting a good shift up there, got a cracking goal, and he will hope that is a sign of further success to come for him in front of goal.
Yeah,
it's Rangers.
Finlay Curtis has gone out to the left-hand side, and Mikey Moore will just kind of latch on to Chermiti. Kind of similar position to what Danilo was doing in the first half.
Butland with another horrendous pass or clearance out from the back, and it's picked up by Utvush and just lays it back to Todt, who steps away from Raskan out to the left-hand side. Here is once more Todt. Into Utvush again, the goal scorer for Ferencvárosi. 1-1 it stands as we approach the midway point in this second half. That's O'Dowda into Todt and back to O'Dowda, and Utvush once again. Certainly had plenty of possession. Here's Cisse, who was so heavily involved and crucially involved in that equalising goal when he came forward from right centre back, but Rangers have forced him back the way this time. It's back with Grof, the goalkeeper, easily able to play out from the back to Utvush, who could have turned there, but instead he goes back the way to Rijmakers, and Danny Rowell just trying to guide Rangers up the park a bit. See Sterling's in at right centre back or right back now, and Tavernier's the one who's playing in that role that Aaron's occupied, either as a wing back or a winger, depending on whether they've got possession. But Sterling playing quite centrally, actually looks more like the back three at times. Anyway, here's Grof firing it forwards. Giga gets the header into Barron, who's forcing Magoma to dash for that. He hasn't been able to keep it in, and it has been something that's kind of run through Rangers play throughout the night. Stephen, some of the passes haven't been nearly accurate enough. No,
I mean, they had a couple of spells in the first half where in possession they kept the ball for a good few passes and no end product with it, but in the second half there's been a lot of slack ones.
Giga's header falls into the midfield for Ferencvárosi, but Raskan picks up and then finds Chermiti. Barron, I don't know why he's passing to Sterling there when he was very tightly marked by Varga, but Sterling did enough to force it to Tavernier. Then back with Sterling into Moore, onto Barron. He's trying to get it to Raskan. That doesn't quite come off. Tavernier does enough to get it to Giga, who'll roll it back to his goalkeeper Jack Butland. Back with Giga, he'll be closed down by Daly, out to the right hand side to Sterling. He gets it forward to the halfway line, but it's onto the head of Soloy, who will try to begin the next Ferencvárosi attack. 21 minutes remaining in this game. It's still Ferencvárosi 1, Rangers 1. Remember, live coverage of both Celtic and Aberdeen in Europe to come this evening. A choice of listening. That is terrible from Mikey Moore. Just gives it straight to Ferencvárosi. My goodness, Ferencvárosi just gives it straight back to them. This is ludicrous. for this level of football. Raskan's done really well to get beyond Utvush, and now up towards the edge of the penalty area. Mikey Moore now on the right hand side tries to get the shot away. It's blocked, comes back to Barron. He can't quite keep a hold of it. Now it's forward to Daly, out to the right hand side. One for McCreckis to try and take on Magoma. He is firing forward, but Magoma shows him a decent turn of pace as well and manages to get back and does really well in the end.
He did.
And Curtis now picks up on that left hand side. Oh, terrible passage of play there just a few moments ago, though, with both sides determined to give it back to the other. Raskan has it over on the left hand side and just plays it short to Mikey Moore, who looks like he's got license to roam. As Thomas says, just playing it in behind Chermiti. Barron for Giga, out to the right hand side to Tavernier. 20 to play, 1-1 it stands as Sterling has it just inside the Ferencvárosi half, back the way to Giga and all the way back to Jack Butland. Rangers have made 4 of their allotted 5 substitutions, so not too much more they can change beyond this as Butland clips it out to the right hand side to Sterling. A bouncing ball, not an easy one to take, but he gets it to Barron on the right hand side. Barron back to Sterling again, back the way to Giga. Now Barron once more on the touchline, but deep in his own half, closed down quickly by Utvush, and he's going to really have to work hard to keep a hold of the ball. He does well. Sterling then can't keep a hold of it. Ferencvárosi player goes down, and it'll be a Rangers throw in again. A little bit fortunate to get away with that, maybe.
It was just very messy all round, you know. I mean, like, nobody could keep a hold of the ball. It looked like there were 3, 4, 5 fouls in there. The referee not buying any of them. Nor
that one when Mikey Moore tries to go through a space that perhaps wasn't there. Two Ferencvárosi players coming together to win possession back fairly in the eyes of the referee, as they have it now on the right hand side. 71.5 on the clock. As looks like the home side are going to go to their bench for the first time this evening. But still in play over on the right hand side. It's Cisse back to Makrekis, and then all the way back via Rijmakers to the goalkeeper. Fired forward down the left hand side for O'Dowda, if he can keep it in. Yeah, he has done. Tavernier trying to get back at him in an advanced area now, up to the edge of the Rangers penalty area on the left hand side. Sends it in. Must be! It is! And it's that man, Barnabas Varga, at the back post. He was not going to pass up that opportunity. Beautifully flighted in by O'Dowda, and Varga rose to notch his 20th goal of the season, and he won't score a simpler one. Rangers torn apart. The original diagonal ball, as Tomo says, was right on the money, and O'Dowda delivered from the left hand side. Varga with a header. It's Ferencvárosi 2, Rangers 1.
It's a brilliant goal from a Ferencvárosi point of view. The diagonal 70-yard pass, magnificent. Then there's not enough pressure on O'Dowda before he gets the cross in. He floats it to the back post, and I don't know, I would need to see the replay, but for me, Magoma and Fernandez, I think it is at the back post. One of them has to be picking up Varga, who, you're right, I mean, it's a simple header, puts it in the back of the net, but from Rangers' point of view, really disappointing defensively.
A couple of changes which were going to be made anyway, but they're definitely going to be made now by Ferencvárosi, and it's the scorer of the equaliser, Utvush, who will be replaced by Christopher Zachariasen, and Daly is going to be replaced by Joseph, and looks like Tello Osgar is going to come on for Rangers. Lenny Joseph then, and Christopher Zachariasen coming on as Daly tries to rouse the crowd even further, but they don't need a lot of that. It's James Tavernier who's coming off for Osgar, so that's going to be some sort of change of shape. We'll see how that affects Rangers as on comes Osgar. So that's Rangers made all their changes with 16 to play, and they need a goal now, or else they are going to tumble to another defeat when whacking a ball to kick the match off again.
Yeah, well, they need to go, I mean, they need to go for it now. Rangers do. I mean, they've not really been an attacking force in this game tonight in terms of creating opportunities, efforts on goal. Very, very few. But they've got to go for it here now.
Yeah, Raskan gets it to Curtis midway inside the Ferencvárosi half, out to Migoma left hand side into Oscar. He needs to start showing what he's capable of. Here he is, his left hand side, gets it back from Raskan, forced back the way though. Click forward now for Raskan helps it on and cleared away before Mikey Moore can get there. It was a decent bit of play that from Rangers, but again, just can't quite find the final ball. Rangers throw in right hand side, Sterling back to Oscar, little dummy away from Joseph, back to the halfway line to Giga, and forward for Sterling. Now Mikey Moore out on the right hand touchline. Oh, that was still a play. That was nowhere near being out of play. And the assistant referee, who's about a yard away from it, signals for the throw in. And well, that is baffling because we could see from here there was no chance that was out of play.
No, it was on the line. Really poor from the linesman. It was a lovely wee spin as well from Mikey Moore.
Rangers trailing by 2-1, a quarter of an hour left to play here. Heading for just 1 point out of a possible 18 in this Europa League campaign as Ferencvárosi tried to come forward. Joseph tumbles under a challenge there by Fernandez, but is waved back to his feet. The referee's done actually okay because he's not fallen for a number of people just tumbling under minimal contact, which a lot of referees do nonetheless penalise these days. Raskan down the right hand side looking for Chermiti. He can't get there though, ahead of Soloy, and Varga almost picks up, but it breaks out now to Tolt. Now Dowda, who provided that wonderful cross for the goal that put Ferencvárosi 2-1 up. Fernandez taking a massive chance inside his own box, but does get away with it, and then he's dragged to the ground by Joseph, who will go into the referee's notebook for pulling him down. Yellow card and a free kick to Rangers midway inside their own half.
It certainly looked very composed, didn't it, from Fernandez, taking a touch in the box under pressure, jinks past a couple of players, drives forward 20 yards with it, and then a stupid foul from Joseph, who's just on the pitch, picks up a yellow card.
So Rangers free kick midway inside their own half. Raskan looking for players to come towards him with it as the home fans stand aloft with their scarves held above their heads. And
77, they must have done something in 77 now. Have you got knowledge of this in your notes? Pathetic. Pathetic.
It is Ferencvárosi who have it as they try and come forward. Fernandez attempted clearance, wasn't great, but then neither was the pass that came in from Zachariasen, and Rangers have it back. Throw-in is going to be given to Ferencvárosi. Curtis going down, but again the referee,
it's good referee,
not interested.
He threw himself.
Back it goes to Cisse. Back to Rijmakers and all the way back to the goalkeeper. Rangers need to find something from somewhere if they are to take anything from the game. Vargas again getting the flick on, this time to Joseph. He can't get the better of Giga, but then he's brought down by Giga. Looked like Giga had the better of him there, but somehow Joseph was able to recover and win the free kick for his side. And this is another threat here for Rangers. Yeah, I'm not sure if it's for the complaints or the initial challenge, but either way, Giga into the book as well, and a free kick just about 25 yards from goal, right of centre to be fair, but nonetheless a good chance here for Ferencvárosi to put this game probably beyond Rangers, you would imagine, with just 11 and a half minutes left of the 90. The home fans enjoying this more now, and they are on the brink of making the latter stages of this competition as Tolt stands over the free kick here. Looks like it'll be a ball into the box. Indeed it is, curled to the back post. Cisse will go and try and keep it in. It's beyond him. He's kept it in, he gets it back, and then it comes back into the box, and Rangers get it half clear, but not entirely, and Joseph's wriggled away from a couple of challenges, and Migoma has to go across and block that behind for another corner. Just over 10 to play. Ferencvárosi 2, Rangers 1.
Yeah, Joseph spinning, I think it was Raskin there, all too easy in the box. Tries to get his shot away behind for the corner kick. I mean, it looks like there's only one team going to go on and win this match. Now, I mean, Rangers throughout the whole game haven't really created enough to suggest that they could go and win the game.
No, there's been absolutely nothing else for David Groff to do, is there, beyond the goal. And it comes from the right-hand side, well won by Fernandez, who is a towering presence in there. Back in it comes, though. Butland should take that and does. And free kick is going to be given to Rangers as Butland was impeded. Free kick is taken. Forward comes Raskin into Osgaard, just inside his own half. Out to the right hand side for Sterling. Again, Rangers struggling to keep a hold of it, but Sterling gets it back from Raskin, tries to tease it down the line again, but cut out by Todt. Throw in taken by Sterling back to Nico Raskin on the right hand side, midway inside the Ferencvárosi half. Looks forward for Moore, doesn't get there, but it's out for another throw in to Rangers, still midway inside the Ferencvárosi half. Forward it goes to Mikey Moore, now plays it into the area. Arriving was Finlay Curtis, he completely misses his header as he tried to direct it towards goal. That was a decent opportunity, not a bad ball in from Mikey Moore as Fernandez and Varga, well, Fernandez gets the better of him in the end, having initially looked like he was going to lose out. Varga with his head in his hands because he thought he was going to be clear there. There's going to be a couple more changes for the home side shortly, but Rangers have it right hand side. It's Sterling looking infield to Osgaard, back the way to Giga.
It's another thing, you know, Asgard's been brought on the pitch to play as almost like a 10 and somebody who's going to see forward passes. When he's receiving the ball, most of the time he's taking it and giving it back to that centre half.
Here's Curtis left hand side, good bit of play from him. Sterling arriving at the back post, gets his head to it, but way over the top from Dujon Sterling after a good delivery from Finlay Curtis as Rangers press for an equaliser, but with 82 almost played, it's still Ferencvárosi 2, Rangers 1.
Excellent play from Finlay Curtis down that left hand side, goes by his marker, puts a really nice cross into the back post. Sterling's there, he gets up ahead of the full back, but just can't get the header downward over the crossbar from him. And a rare attack from Rangers.
It's going to be Kadu and Julio Romao coming on. Gabi Kanichowski replaced by Romao, and Kadu, like Romao, a Brazilian, he will come on for the Irishman Callum O'Dowda, who put that ball on a plate for Varga to score the second Ferencvárosi goal. He is also replaced at left wing back, so two Brazilians on. Rangers still trailing by 2-1 with 7.5 of the 90 to play. The goal kick is taken, flicked on by Varga, who's won just about everything in the air. Rangers get it forward once more. Osgaard tries to help it on, but Ferencvárosi had it back briefly, but now it's Raskin just inside his own half, looks up, then tries to take his man on this right hand side. Back to Sterling. Giga takes a touch away there from Joseph, does well, gets it square to Fernandez, and now it's Barron for Giga once more, still 20 yards inside his own half. Forward for Moore, who tries to turn away from his man. It's been kept in, I thought it was kept in play by Sterling.
The lines in again.
Well, it probably did Rangers a favour that time, because Sterling had only taken it into the path of I think Varga was going to capitalise down that left hand side. 6.5 to play, still 2-1 Ferencvárosi. Referee again just wants the throw in taken a little bit further back. Robbie Keane just at the edge of his technical area, pointing to his head, just saying to his players, just you know, see this game out, be sensible, nothing daft, as throw-in's taken into Joseph. Poor touch from him, but he manages to keep it from Mikey Moore. Fernandez can't win it either, needs to get back into position as Todt tries to squeeze it down the left hand side for Varga, but there's a Rangers player in the way. Sterling doing, and then Chermiti just needs to be careful there as he raises his arms. He's unhappy about the challenge that came in on him, but Rangers get the free kick. which will be taken by Sterling. 6 to play. Rangers trailing by 2-1. And in truth, haven't overly troubled David Groff beyond the Bojan Majowski goal that put them in front back in 27 minutes. As Fernandes has it now deep in his own territory. Forward for Raskan, who's dragged to the ground. Rangers get the free kick about 20 yards inside their own half, quickly taken by Osgar into Barron, and now Giga. Out on this right hand side is Sterling. He'll now be closed down by Kadu. He clips it forward for Moore. Moore down the right hand side, trying to move away there from Tote. Manages to keep the ball well there under significant pressure. Still Moore onto Raskan, just about 10 yards inside the Ferencvárosi half, out to the left hand side for Curtis. Back to Magoma now. Midway inside the Hungarian half, left hand side, comes infield into Mikey Moore. Moore trying to spin away from Romao, but he's been dispossessed by the Brazilian, who feeds it forward for Joseph. Joseph now up to the edge of the penalty area, up against Fernandes. He's shown him a clean pair of heels, cuts it back, but just behind the substitute Zacharias, and otherwise Rangers could have been in real trouble there. And it's fed up towards Chermiti. He can get nothing on it, and it's back in the possession of Ferencvárosi.
There's a big chance. Joseph down in the byline, cuts it back, but he had 2 options. Cut back, didn't go to any of them, and luckily for Rangers the ball's cleared. But I mean, it's difficult to see in these last however many minutes are left, 5+ stoppage time, Rangers getting the opportunity that need to get back into this game.
Yep, I'd agree. 4 to play plus injury time. Danny Rule out at the edge of his technical area, still looking for more from his players. It breaks kindly for Finlay Curtis. A little step over into Osgar now. Spins towards goal. He still has it, and he gets it back to Curtis. This could be a chance. Curtis, has the keeper saved that? He has. Oh, he must have just got a fingertip to it. Mikey Moore was on his left hand side as well, and might have slipped him in, but he went for goal, and it looked like it was on target. But for the keeper's fingertips, he got down brilliantly, the veteran keeper, to touch that wide to deny Rangers an equalising goal.
It's a great effort from Curtis, it really is, but the ball should have been Mikey Moore. I don't know whether he sees him or not. If he lifts his head, he's got a simple pass into Mikey Moore, who's in acres of space and would probably, surely have scored. But I mean, I suppose you've got to say it's a really good effort from Finlay Curtis and a top save.
It's going to be Connor Barron to take the corner kick from the right hand side. It'll be an outswinger here from Barron, and it comes. It's met by a Ferencvárosi head pretty emphatically back out to this right hand side for a Rangers throw-in. Barron looking for potentially someone to come and take it, but he just takes it himself in the end. Then he gets it back from Osgard and sweeps it to the back post. Up goes Curtis once more, can't reach it. Chermiti bumped to the ground, goes down, and Ferencvárosi will come forward. Knocked out of play for a Rangers throw-in, as Ferencvárosi going to make one final change here in the shape of Alexander Pesic, the Serbian striker. Not quite yet though. The ball's back in play. 2.5 left plus stoppage time. Rangers a goal behind, having led in the first half, but Magoma has lost it to Joseph, and now it's Varga who can finish Rangers off if he can get the shot away here. Slips it instead back to Romao. Romao has a good challenge on the deck there by Giga once more, but Ferencvárosi have got it back on the edge of the penalty area, right hand side. Well, back comes Curtis, good defending from the young winger to bring it away, and then he goes down under a barge from Romao, and it'll be a Rangers free kick with Giga down off the field of play, having made another decent enough challenge.
I think he's toiling here a bit, Giga.
Yeah, not sure what's happening.
Just when I didn't see it. I mean, when he goes to block the effort from Joseph, I think it was. Is it another head? Is he holding his head?
The referee checking on him just now, helps him to his feet, and I think he's going to be okay to continue for the last few minutes. Meanwhile, there's a Ferencvárosi player down. Is it Varga?
Yeah.
With a bit of cramp. That's going to be him that's going to be replaced actually by Pesic, and he goes off potentially as the match winner. We knew that he was going to be a major threat, and listen to the ovation he gets from the home crowd. He really is the talisman for this home crowd, and He only really had that one effort, but it was a simple one, and it was potentially, looks like it's going to be the match-winning one.
One effort and goal, one goal. Not bad stats, that. I mean, his threat in the air has been there all evening. He's won a lot of headers, a lot of, not just kind of getting up and winning the headers, he's had headers that are intelligent, flickering onto people, creating opportunities. He's linked to play well.
Raskan fires it forwards. Osgar brings it down and then plays it out to the left-hand side. It's Finlay Curtis up against Cisse, fires it into the box. Sterling's there, but he can't really direct it on goals onto the roof of the net, and there's going to be a free kick in any case to Ferencvárosi for a tug on the jersey, I think, by Sterling as he tried to fire that over the line, and 4 minutes added on by the referee here.
Really good again from Curtis. He's had an impact since he's come on. Finlay Curtis down that left-hand side, a couple of really good balls in. Obviously had that effort on goal as well that was turned around the post by the goalkeeper.
So we're into those 4 minutes of added on time. Rangers trailing by 2-1 in Budapest, heading for another Europa League defeat. I mentioned they hadn't lost 5 away from home in Europe since the mid-80s, but they are on course for that right now unless they can do something in these closing minutes of added on time. They've got a free kick just inside the Ferencvárosi half, and they'll throw plenty of bodies forward. It's getting to the now or never stage.
Yeah, this goes diagonal, the edge of the box.
I'm not sure Fernandez is wanting it taken short maybe to Magoma. There's certainly a breakdown in communication there between Magoma and some of his teammates anyway. Barron sends it in towards the back post, but there's a free kick being given to Ferencvárosi for an infringement inside the penalty area, and that is such a waste.
Yeah, it is. It's Osgaard that's done it. I mean, you know, what's he thinking about? Why make that foul? He wasn't even, the ball wasn't anywhere near him. Silly. So Ferencvárosi won't be in a particular hurry to take this as they prepare to move on to 14 points from 6 games. Rangers will have a solitary 1 point as Groff takes the free kick far deep into Rangers territory. A couple of minutes of added on time left to play. Ferencvárosi have it where they want it down in Rangers territory as Curtis tries to get it up the line. Out for a throw in to Rangers. Magoma midway inside his own half, left hand side. Rangers need it up the other end, and they need to try and create one final chance. It's flicked on by Curtis. Barron can't get it. It'll come back to Magoma. Magoma, his ball forward is charged down. It's picked up by Joseph, and now out to the right hand side. Makrekis tries to get the cross in. It's half cut out. Rangers in a bit of a muddle there, but Butland just able to dive on that, and he bowls it out looking for Mikey Moore here. Closed down quickly. There's a bang of heads there between Mikey Moore and Soloy, and he's in a bit of pain there. Moore just didn't see him coming really. No, I mean, you could see it happening a mile off, and it's the back of Mikey Moore's head, but I think Soloy's got it square in the jaw. A really nasty one.
And so both players down, getting treatment now. And so that will prolong injury time just a little bit more. But on the whole then, Stephen, despite looking like it's going to be a defeat, is there much in the way of positives that Danny Röhl can take from tonight?
I don't really know. I mean, I think, you know, if they lose the game, which looks like they're going to, it goes down as another defeat in this pretty much turgid European campaign. There was parts of the game that were okay, certainly in the first half. Defensively looked more solid, but then they lose that goal right on half-time. It was preventable, avoidable, and then the goal that they lose in this second half for me is really poor defensively. Did they ask enough questions? I think young Finlay Curtis can take a lot of credit from since he's come on to the game. I suppose Rangers, you would say, in the last 5-10 minutes have had a couple of half efforts. His one was a great effort, but overall they've not done enough and not worked the goalkeeper enough to suggest that they could have gone and won this game, and ultimately it's another defeat.
It's looking that way. Both players are back on their feet and ready to come back on once the referee allows them to. The free kick's actually been given to Ferencvárosi for that collision.
Never a free kick.
Anyway, that's clipped long by Kadu up towards the edge of the penalty area. Pesic feels he was being dragged down there, but nothing given. Fernandez is up front there for the moment, but can't do anything with the ball. Then he knocks Kadu to the ground, and the free kick will be given, and it's got to be pretty much over. Robbie Keane's waving his arms about as if to say that's way beyond time, but that's because there was a lengthy-ish stoppage. It will be a free kick to the home side. It looks very much like it's heading for another defeat for Rangers. You can hear the home fans whistling for full time. Another free kick then is going to be clipped in towards the corner. Pesic won't keep that in play. It's going to be a goal kick to Rangers, but they won't have time to take it because the referee blows the final whistle, and the unbeaten record of Ferencvárosi continues as they move ever closer to automatic qualification in the Europa League, coming from behind to defeat Rangers by 2-1. Rangers going in front in the first half in spectacular fashion through Bojan Majowski's overhead kick. Initially judged to have been offside, but given by VAR after a check. And so Rangers had the advantage almost until half-time, but with the last kick of the first half, it was all square after Ibrahim Cisse cut the ball back to Utvush, and he was able to slot it past Jack Butland with the aid of a deflection, and that changed the shape of the game altogether. And in the second half, it was the home side who looked the more dangerous side, and indeed it was them who carved Rangers open on 73 minutes. A fabulous diagonal ball out to the left-hand side for O'Dowda, who took a touch before putting it back into the middle, where at the back post Barnabas Varga was there unmarked to nod past Butland and into the empty net. Rangers came closest to an equaliser with 3 minutes of the 90 to play as Finlay Curtis picked up on the edge of the box, went for goal, might have picked out the pass to Mikey Moore instead, but in the end he took the shot, and it was tipped wide brilliantly by David Groff, and so Rangers fall to defeat once more in Europe. Just 1 point from 6 games. It is a pretty dismal offering, and you see Bojan Majowski out there with a big old ice pack on his hamstring, and Rangers will hope that is not a particularly serious injury, but well, they certainly gave it plenty of effort, can't fault them for that, but once more it is defeat for them on the European stage as they go and applaud their travelling fans. But it's Ferencvárosi who take most of the acclaim here. It finishes in Budapest. Ferencvárosi 2, Rangers 1.
Following